And we're back. As you saw from my Šta se sprema videos on the Srdjan General YouTube channel, which you can see right now, I'm a mess in the kitchen and I need some help. So I called for reinforcements to help me whip something up that's quick and easy for my guests. Please welcome Nevena Jeftic, the Balkan Hostess. Thanks for coming.
Thanks for having me.
Now this has been a long time coming. I know we talked about this a year ago at
Yes.
SERBFest, which you can also watch on YouTube right now.
Yep.
And we're finally here.
Yes,
But,
we are.
well, first off, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. I thought to bring my Balkan body here because I know we're
I
cooking
see
today.
that,
Because
yeah.
Balkan food did this.
No.
Yeah, definitely not. But I want to get to know you a little bit because, you know, you have tons of followers on Instagram and you make such amazing dishes. I want to know if there's cooks in the family, if you grew up cooking, and even where you're from.
Yeah, absolutely. So I grew up in Chicago, but I am originally from Šumadija, so central Serbia. Yes.
Šumadija.
Absolutely, yes. I am from the heart of Serbia, as we call it, Šumadija region, and I lived there from birth till 5 years of age, and then we came to Chicago.
So basically you're American is what you're telling me.
Yeah, it depends on who you ask. If you ask them over there, I'm American. If you ask people here, I'm definitely foreign.
All right.
Definitely foreign. But I've lived here pretty much, I grew up here, so I've lived here most of my life. But I never lost that cultural,
the roots.
Yeah, the roots and the cultural piece. So as far as cooks in the family, I think, yeah, definitely. Home cooks, for sure. So that's where all this kind of comes from, this inspiration comes from. Although I didn't really grow up cooking as much, this all kind of came about, I want to say, later on as I was maybe entering my teenage years. I had that interest in cooking, so it wasn't something that, you know, kind of was like, oh, I always knew I was going to do this. But I definitely was, you know, putting a stool next to the stove when I was little. I was trying to get into everything that, you know, my grandma and my mom and my aunts were doing. I was always around looking, so I wasn't completely absent from it.
Right.
But all this interest in cooking and these types of things and what you see today on my Instagram is more so kind of later on, my adult years.
Totally. So what was one of your favorite dishes that you love to make with your mom or your family?
Sure. Gosh, it's hard to pick just one.
Okay.
It depends on the time of year. One of my favorite times of year is like late summer, early fall, when like it's paprika season now.
Oh, that's right.
Yes,
around the corner.
Season. Yes, that's probably my favorite. Just the communal aspect, where everyone's kind of sitting together around this big bunch of peppers, peeling them,
And being
preparing them.
hunchbacks as they're taking the skins off.
Hunchback, that paprika facial, absolutely. So that's kind of like, you know, the types of recipes that get people together. You know, aunts, grandmas, the neighbor,
Right.
you know, those are my favorites.
So in high school, did you know what you wanted to be when you grew up? Or
Oh my gosh,
You
yes.
did?
I wanted to be a couple different things. In high school, I wanted to be a pilot.
what?
I wanted to be a pilot, and then of course, you know, you get the Balkan mentality of
Šta ćeš tamo, yeah?
Yeah.
Neću naći posao, nema posla, blah, blah, blah.
Yes.
But you could have been the pilot for Air Serbia. Like,
See?
dobrodošli putnici, ovo je Nevena Jeftic, your pilot for today. Nemojte da pušite.
The cookies are coming down the aisle.
Exactly.
Just like what you said. So I first wanted to be a pilot. That obviously didn't take off.
But I'm pumped.
And then I wanted to be a pastry chef.
Okay.
So that kind of went along with this, and I thought about that, and then
Your parents are like, nemoj da se mučiš.
Yeah.
Go get a business degree.
Everything had a reaction, right? And so I wanted to be a pastry chef really bad, and I even looked at pastry schools in Chicago. We have some really good ones here. And then I found out how much actual math would be involved going to pastry school.
Oh, like measuring and stuff?
Yes, and converting and all of that. And I'm not good at math at all.
Me neither.
Terrible at math, embarrassingly terrible at math. So I was like, yeah, that's not going to happen. And then also kind of like when I went on tours, they're talking about the you wake up at like 3 a.m. to go make the bread and stuff. And I was just like, yeah, I'm not a morning person either.
Oh, wow.
So that
could have been a
work
chef.
out. I could, but it just didn't work out.
Okay.
So I just went and got a psychology degree, a business psychology degree, and so.
Well, it's okay. You got something to fall back on because your cooking skills have really taken off on Instagram with the Balkan Hostess. So tell me the birth of that.
That all happened kind of over time. I had been following throughout high school and college. I've been following a lot of, I guess, food vloggers, to put
influencers,
it, like
whatever.
Yeah, and the influencers thing wasn't a thing yet. But they were making, people were posting on YouTube. They were posting videos and different cultures and different videos. And so I followed those people for a while, and I was kind of like, yeah, maybe one day, but that's just a lot of work, and I just don't see myself like that interested in this. And then we started consulting, and then COVID happened.
So you had no choice but to pick up a hobby, right?
I know. It was kind of like if not now, then when? And I actually worked with a coworker of mine, Allie, and she was like, you're already posting all these things on your personal Instagram and Facebook.
Open the floodgates to the public page.
You're right. And then I was like, well, everyone's making this bread, making bread now because it's COVID and everyone's sitting at home just eating all the food that they're trying to buy from the stores. And so I was like, I think this is a good time. And so I literally got on the phone with her. I had a list of 3 names I was going to name this, and I said, let's see what's available, as in like a domain. And we checked. The first one was not, the second one was not, and then the Balkan Hostess was available.
Awesome.
And I started off, and I still had the screenshot of like the first 15 people that followed me, and I thought I was gonna be like, oh, I'll get maybe the 100 people that know me, that follow that like my pictures of my food on my personal will come over, and I didn't have really any expectation of what it would be.
Is that the equivalent of like taking the first $1 and putting it on the wall?
I think so. Yeah, I think so. She's the first follower.
The first 15 people that believed in me.
Yeah, they were like the first 20 that liked that picture on my personal Facebook page of that, the recipe, and then they came over, and then I was like, well, maybe I'll get like 100 people is what I initially said. And that it just kind of took off and exploded. And
did you ever take photography classes? Because they're very photojournalistic.
I have not taken any photography classes. I have I call it my professional camera, but the DSLR camera.
Okay.
I got a long time ago, and I've used it maybe 3 times on my trip back to Serbia, and it's still in my closet, and I don't really know how to use it. So I take all my photos on my phone.
I mean, that's the most convenient way these days. And the phone cameras are way better than some of these lenses.
Yeah, absolutely. And so a lot of people ask me about that. That's kind of a common question is, one is like, oh my God, where is this coming from? And then 2 is also who takes your pictures?
Right.
And it's just me. I just kind of try to incorporate a little bit of the cultural piece behind it. So in a lot of my photos, you'll see a chilim, or you'll see, wooden dishes, or...
All right, calm down, Martha Stewart.
or traditional things. So that's where that comes from. But no official classes.
For sure. What would you say is your most viewed, liked dish?
It's hard to say. The last time I checked the analytics, I think it was a tie between sarma and kiflice.
Yeah, but did you make sarma with grape leaves or kupus?
No, kupus.
Okay, because I know some people do the grape leaf.
I mean, that's a whole different region of the world. Yeah, I mean, I do the other sarma with the Swiss chard leaves, the zelje.
Oh, that's interesting.
But I haven't made it with grape leaves.
What is your favorite dish to make when company's coming over?
Oh gosh, that's a tough one. Depends on who's coming over. If they're not Balkan, then I'll probably try to gauge how what they would be willing to try. Not everyone's gonna try sarma, unfortunately. Right. Unfortunately for them.
I mean, it smells weird.
It kind of does. You gotta admit. So it depends on who's coming over. But if I'm pulling out all the stops and I'm really wanting to impress someone, I will do the whole traditional spread. So they'll start off, with the
appetizer, mezers.
Well, before even that, when they arrive, I'll do the whole slatko and voda, or ratluk and kaffa and all that.
Oh, you go that deep.
I do go that
deep.
I even actually brought you some slatko too. So yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. So so I'll start off with that, and then do the do the mezer, the predjelo, and then we'll go into whatever entree, and so it's really more of the experience, and I try to incorporate that too. So I'm no matter who's coming over, I incorporate a little bit of Balkan in there.
Totally.
And explain the way. So.
Do you find that more people gravitate towards savory dishes over sweet, or the other way around?
Other way around.
I figured.
Absolutely other way around. And I sometimes I start posting, so many sweet recipes that I have to kind of like
Balance it
stop.
out.
And I'm like, wait a minute, I haven't posted anything savory in a couple posts. And so I have to reel it back in. But definitely say the sweet, absolutely.
So how do you decide what to make? Because obviously someone has to eat it. You're not throwing it away after you take your photos. So
Yeah.
how do you decide what to make and what to take photos of?
It's hard. I have to figure out a way to get rid of it, right? Because if I eat all of it, forget
Right.
it. Like this is as close to like a normal body I would
I
get.
mean, you have a beach body,
I
so
do,
your
I
food
do.
must be doing something right.
I need to like just wear this around all the time.
Me too.
Yeah. So
Washboard abs and everything.
Right, exactly. So I have to kind of plan. I do a lot of my content batching on the weekends.
Oh.
And I will say my coworkers are very well fed.
Oh, well, who else is going to eat it? You're not going to call people over every weekend.
My brother's always around. I can always kind of offload it on him. I try to, if I'm making a couple different things, which I try to do, like I said, content batch, I will look for an opportunity if someone's coming over, or if we're going somewhere. I will make that and just kind of frame my cooking around what's going on, so that I'm not wasting food, because I would not want to, make a ton of dishes and then no one's around.
Exactly.
And if anything, my coworkers are always there at work, so they enjoy all the dishes.
Have you ever thought of doing a cookbook?
I don't know. I have. I also get the question, have you ever thought about doing a YouTube channel?
That too.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm very busy with my day job.
Day-to-day life that basically
yeah.
it seems daunting to do the whole production of it all. I mean, look at this.
I know.
show.
This is pretty impressive. It's a lot of time and effort and work, and this is this is my hobby. I think if it turned into anything where I then had like a commitment, like an hourly commitment or something like that, where it wasn't like free, freeing anymore, or like relaxing, I'd probably start to hate it.
I can imagine.
Which is
that.
the reason I also kind of never like wanted to open up a restaurant, or and I never say never. People always another question is like, are you going to open a bakery one day or a restaurant one day?
Right.
And it's like maybe, but not anytime soon. I just feel like I love this because I have no commitment. I mean, I'm sure I do, right? I have followers, but it's not like a job.
Right.
So I feel like if I had to do that as a job where I had to live off of it, I'd probably start hating it. So
Totally, I totally get that. What I found interesting on your Instagram page, when you go to like that link in your bio,
Sure.
you actually have an Amazon store with like
do.
different categories and stuff like that. I found that so interesting.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about that. I feel like you're giving everyone like the kit on how to like entertain.
the kid to like Balkan 101.
Seriously, like what you need
Yeah.
suje, you need all that stuff.
Well, so kind of that all goes along with the purpose of the channel in the first place. When I started this, it wasn't just to share recipes, because there's so many people that do the same thing.
Right.
There's a lot of Balkan food bloggers, right? And so my purpose for this was to, because you'll notice all my recipes are in English. And that's also something I've gotten feedback on too, is like, why is it not in Serbian, Bosnian, Croatian, Macedonian?
But you're like alienating like other
Yes.
people if you do that.
Right,
Unless you do
so-
both translations, then fine.
Yeah, so the kind of how I got around that was my blog, where all my recipes live, has a translation feature, so anyone can translate it in any language.
Nice.
But the purpose of this whole thing is to help people who are here, any other country in the world, not back home, that maybe are first, second, third generation and have lost this culture, or those people are no longer available to them.
Right. Ooh, there's a fly up in here, like like a true Balkan home.
And yeah, we need one of those.
The fly swatters.
Yeah. So it's just to teach them, and I've gotten a lot of messages from people who say, my grandma's no longer around, my mom's no longer around,
Right.
or I married a Balkan person. And now need help making the sadma because I don't know how to do that.
And they're expecting it.
Yeah, right. And or the mother-in-law's expecting
Or like
it.
Slava's coming up. What are you
Slava's
making?
coming.
We can't eat
Yeah,
McDonald's.
Right. Oh my gosh. So that's what this is. Who this is for.
Yeah.
And so that Amazon storefront actually has a list of things for like all your situations, right? If you're going somewhere, I have some things on there you can buy to take with you, right? Because depending on where you're from the Balkans, you take certain things, right? I know for us, if you're going to someone's house, you're bringing over the coffee, the sugar, the milka, so it all those things, and something for the kucha, of course.
Of course.
So all those things are on
That's probably
there.
going to be regifted to someone else's Slava.
That I can't
How many
control.
Mikasa crystal bowls do we need in our
Yeah,
house?
a lot.
Yeah.
And it gets passed around. It gets
Seriously,
passed around.
it turns into an ashtray
It
eventually.
does, eventually, yeah. So, so there's like things if you're going somewhere, there's also things that you should probably have in your home if you want to, if you want to, like the coffee, like the Dresdner for the coffee. And then I also have things that I end up showing on my Instagram story sometimes, and people are like, oh my gosh, where did you get that? Very specific thing. So I'll just post, in that another list of itself. So it's just a little bit of something for everyone, I guess.
Seriously, like idiot's guide on how to entertain Balkan style for sure.
And if guests are coming over, yeah, there's certain like.
Well,
platters
absolutely,
and things,
especially if Prime, you gotta get on that.
Yeah.
Well, I definitely appreciate that feature
Yeah,
because
of
I'm gonna
course.
need that pretty damn soon.
Yeah.
Anyways, we're gonna start the
Sure.
cooking. What are we
Yes.
making today?
So today we're actually making a really, really popular, very common cookie, and that's lashnik gnezda,
All
or
right.
like hazelnut nest translated. The translations always end up being weird, so it's
Very
hard.
weird.
When I try to translate something, it's
Hazelnut nests.
it's like, what is that?
Gotcha.
So in order to make this as easy as possible, because I know you're a little bit new in the kitchen.
That's right. And the power of TV.
Yes.
Zooms it. I mean, speeds it up.
Right. So I have the cookie base here already.
All right, let's show the crew what
Yep,
it looks
so
like.
that is the cookie base.
Oh my God, I smell it. It smells amazing.
Does it smell good?
Oh yeah.
All right. And so I'm going to ask you to
I'm
help
sweating
me.
just thinking about it.
There's some work involved. So.
Oh man.
All right. So I'm going to ask you to take the lashnik. I actually have a mixture of like lashnik and walnuts here to make it extra Balkan.
Okay.
Um,
So what do I gotta do to it?
you just put it in the bowl.
Okay. Is there a kolač that doesn't have nuts in it?
Probably. Yeah, there are cookies, but walnuts are found almost in everything. So, yeah. Especially if it's Bosno, forget it. It has walnuts
Oh,
for
totally.
sure. Yeah.
All right.
All right. So what we're gonna do now is I'm gonna put this here. So I'm gonna give you a spoon. We wash our hands. Our hands are clean, and you're gonna scoop out, a spoonful of more than that. Okay. All right. And then you're gonna put it in your palm, and then you're gonna roll it into a ball. So I'll do it with you.
Yeah, this feels like slime.
All right, so we're gonna roll it. It's also like 100 degrees.
Roll
so
it,
it's not...
pat it, and mark it with the B, and put it in the oven for 11 hours. Ever heard of this song?
I have. I grew up with Barney.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
So we're gonna then put it in the walnut lashnik mixture. So you can put that in, maybe gentler.
sorry.
Than that. Gentler than that. All right.
Mine are gonna be deformed.
It's fine. It's fine.
They're gonna be those gnezda that fall on the floor.
Gosh. All right. So now.
Okay, got my ball.
Okay, you're gonna put it on the platter there. All right. Try to form it.
Bam! Just kicks it up a little bit.
All right. All right, so we'll make like two
I
more.
should probably make more room for other ones.
Yeah.
Right? All right.
So let's make like another one, and then we'll move on to the next step,
Okay.
just to be safe in case your first one doesn't turn out.
And the size does not matter here. You can make bigger or smaller balls depending on how much you have and how many people are coming over.
Depends on how many people are coming over for sure, and if you have other cookies you're also serving.
What's actually in the mixture?
Yeah. So in here we have Kex. You can use plasma or any other Kex, and then I'm going to give you this. And then you put in some butter, and you also put in some additional walnuts. Of
All
course,
right.
and chocolate, and you mix it together and let it chill for a bit, and then you just roll it. So it's very
All right.
simple. It's very simple, and it's also like no bake, except for the heating part.
That's my favorite part, the no bake part.
The no bake part. Okay, so this is a piping bag. I've already put a tip in there for the piping.
Oh.
And then I'm gonna ask you, so you can take a napkin, probably wipe your hands a little
No, I
bit.
want to use my bare hands.
You wanna use your bare hands? Okay. You're just gonna scoop it in there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's your kitchen. We're in your basement.
Well,
so.
like I said in the beginning of the segment, I'm a mess. There you go. Here's proof.
So, spatula.
Spatula.
You're gonna take this Nutella and you're gonna put in a little bit in there. Oh.
Or not. You know what? This is how I really am in the kitchen.
That's terrifying.
You know, everything's on fire. You know, the water is overflowing in the
Oh my
sink.
gosh.
Yeah. All right. So
Okay,
we're
well,
putting
I'm
it.
gonna-
Yeah. Please hold it.
I will hold it because we don't need it to spill. All
Okay.
right, got it. So just put that in there.
Ooh, it's so gooey.
You can use aerocreme, you can use Nutella, you can make a ganache, whatever you'd like. I think Nutella always kind
Is
of
a winner.
is a winner.
Like
yeah.
why mochi say making ganache.
Exactly,
This is basically
exactly.
the same thing anyway. This is enough.
Yep, that's enough. All right, so I'll take that from you.
I'll lick the spoon later.
And then, all right, so I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna give this to you, so just kind of,
Shimmy it
yeah,
down.
move it down, but
Okay.
be careful it doesn't like spill everywhere. I know it's a little bit tough for
well,
you, but
yeah.
you know,
Don't
do
keep
your
your
best,
hopes up.
do
yeah.
your best. Okay.
Well, if you don't have a piping bag, I think you can use like a Ziploc and cut the corner,
absolutely.
right?
You can just use Ziploc, cut the corner off, and that's
Seriously.
it. Yeah, you don't need the fancy
know that-
equipment for sure.
I do that bootleg stuff.
All right, so before you try
Oh.
to like put the Nutella on,
'Kay.
you're gonna make a hole. So you want to use mine because you're kind of like already flat. So
Wow. All right.
I'm just being honest.
This is
here.
my house. You give me all the compliments.
So
This is actually mine, guys.
yeah,
She's
yeah.
lying to you.
Yeah, I am lying. So just make a little indentation in the middle, like that. There we go. And then you're gonna fill it with Nutella. Look at that.
How much?
How much you want? There you go. I think that's good. Perfect.
All right.
Do the second one. We'll do all of them actually. There we go. Perfect.
Nice.
And so we'll take
My
yours
yours.
uneven
yes.
ones. Yeah.
Wow. You
Yeah.
should really take cooking classes. Look at this mess.
I know. I need some work. There we go. And then here you can do the second one.
I mean, I bet you this tastes great, but
There we
mine
go.
look like.
Well, I mean, you tried,
That's right.
right? And that's how you learn. So, and that's it. So you just continue doing that over and over and over again until you get like 50 more, and then that's it.
Let's taste test.
Yeah, absolutely.
Would you like a plate?
Please.
All right. Actually, take it yourself because my hands are dirty.
Thank you.
Would you like a napkin?
Yes, please.
All right, get it yourself because my hands are dirty.
There we go. All right. Which one do you want?
I'll do yours because I feel bad for you.
Okay, that's fine.
All right.
All right.
I'm sure these will be firmed up in the fridge and all
Yeah.
that. Mm-hmm.
You ready?
Yep. If you're a fan of hazelnuts, this is it.
If you're allergic though,
This is not it.
I always have to do that with cookies because there's so many people that are allergic, and like 90% of my recipes, sweet ones, because it's traditional, have hazelnuts or walnuts. It's kind of like if you are allergic to any nut, hazelnuts, walnut, whatever, please stay away because this is loaded.
All right, if you want to catch the Balkan Hostess, follow her on Instagram at the Balkan Hostess, I believe. Catch all of her new recipes on her blog at thebalkanhostess.com. Until then, we're going to eat the rest of whatever we just made. See you guys. Priятno.